Fantastic. We are live. Super. We can start now. We are here.
Oh, the voice is clear, right, Kitav?
Yeah, it's clear. Clear.
These are drifts of the mind, and they are consequences of a natural happening.
Can we read the paragraph before that, Alka?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
In thinking, the incoming impulses that bring coded messages and the identical memory patterns of the present life that are spilled from section 3A reach the front brain.
Right. So now in this, he's taking that the identical memory patterns are only of this life. That is 3A. Right? Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
If while this series is being worked on, another series, activated as per the incoming impulses, is spilled in from another door, also from section 3A. A normal person behaves normally, but drifts in talk, in study, and in thinking.
Let's continue. I have not understood that sentence. Right.
Shall I read this again? If while this series is being worked on, another series, activated as per the incoming impulses, is spilled in from another door, also from section 3A. A
So
normal person,
yeah, something else comes in. Yeah.
a normal person behaves normally but drifts in talk, in study, and in thinking.
Right. So if I'm studying a particular subject, I'll get drifts in that subject.
Yes, because the another door is open from the 3.
Yeah, 3, that only one identical memory pattern has not come. Other identical
Other
memory
ones
patterns
join
have
with
come. Right.
even a small word from that sentence also ignite the drifts of the
Right.
other way.
Huh.
When a normal person is engaged on a particular subject and relevant memory patterns start spilling in, other doors may accidentally open in between.
Yeah. So I remember that my son has not done his homework and I'm doing something else. Right. So another door is open from in between. Yeah.
And remember, he has not done homework 30 years ago, and another drift come from that.
Yeah. So I remember in my young days I didn't do my homework and etc. and etc. It goes from there. Right.
So, a different series of memory patterns will spill in, and the particular subject at hand will be forgotten.
Right.
And the front brain computer, section 1, will work on the new series coming in as data. But even this may not last long, as another door may open and spill another series of memory patterns.
This happens to me all the time. Yeah.
So that the front brain computer will then work on this new series.
Right. So I sit down to study something and then I switch on something on YouTube. So now I'm working on a new series. The old series has gone. Right. Okay. Hmm.
It is something like we are scrolling the reels of the video mobile.
Right.
Sun control thinking is a very common occurrence and it goes on and on in an ordinary average person.
Right.
It happens because no conscious practices have been carried out to keep these doors shut or to open them when required. This control is scientific yoga.
Yes, the prism exercise, very important, very, very important. The prism exercise. Hmm.
These are drifts of the mind and they are consequences of a natural happening.
Yeah, doors opening automatically. Right.
The incoming impulses are ceaseless. They pour in all the time at great speed and in great variety.
Yeah.
They come in any haphazard manner and as haphazardly draw out identical memory patterns.
Right. So there is no what you call order in the coming in of the incoming impulses, and also the drawing out of identical memory pattern. Hmm.
And depending on such haphazard incoming of the impulses, the doors or valves open and shut continuously without rhyme or reason.
Right. So all sorts of things start pouring in from memory.
As it may appear without any method or control.
Hmm. Right. Everything is in disorder.
So, drifts of the mind is a common malady, like the common cold, and as difficult to keep out. But this is all because no attempt is made to study how the incoming impulses are to be taken in proper sequence
Hmm.
and how the doors or walls of the memory patterns be allowed to open and close as required.
Right. So we have to bring order in this whole process of thinking, which is in total disorder. Right. Is more than disorder, we can say it is deranged. Right. Right. Okay. Hmm.
So one question here, Rajan bhai. Uh,
Right.
let's say if we are reading a sentence, let's say
Hmm.
we read this entire sentence. Um, so would the incoming impulses be one impulse for each word, or would, let's say, 7, 8 words of a sentence be one impulse, or would the entire sentence be one impulse?
No, no. One impulse has come in, but here valves are opening in 3A where more identical memory patterns are coming out.
No, no, that is correct, but just generally trying to understand, will the incoming impulse be just one word of a sentence, be an entire sentence, be somewhere in the or somewhere in the middle,
So the incoming impulse is about the objects which we see or which we experience.
and which we hear also, correct?
Yeah, all the five senses.
So, in the case of this sentence, which we are hearing now from what Alka is saying, or what we are reading, will the impulse be for will there be a new impulse for every word, or will a collection of words or an entire sentence be one impulse?
Nearly for every word.
Hmm.
Nearly for every word.
It seems that every word becomes then incoming impulse.
See, supposing I am habituated in certain way. Now I should be concentrating on what she is reading.
Hmm.
But I suddenly doors open from habit, and I'm in between, I'm worried about how she's reading.
Hmm.
Yes.
Now let's take the where is the huh, like she was reading haphazard incoming of the impulses, the doors or valves open, right? So we have been taught it is valves. Now I should be concentrating on these doors and valves opening, but suddenly one door opens and I say, okay, this is the pronunciation is not valves, it is valves, right? Can you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Now that is a wrong door opening in me. Can you, right? So, but Al, Alka has some Delhi pronunciations in some of her words. If she had some Bombay pronunciations, it would have been different. Yeah, but there was a wrong doors opening in my 3A, right? One other word also, God, I can't remember now.
God, I really need to work on it, I guess.
So, but all the UP, Delhiites, instead of valves, they'll say valves, right? Uh, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go.
Okay. Um, so, drifts of the mind is a common malady, like the common cold, and as difficult to keep out. But this is all because no attempt is made. Okay. No attempt is made to study how the incoming impulses are to be taken in proper proper sequence and how the doors or valves uh, of the memory
Everybody's attention is there.
valves of the memory patterns be allowed to open and close as required.
As required, yes. Yes. So they must open and close for the subject at hand, right? But if they open and close on their own and remind us of something, then it is interfering with the subject. You see, I think he's taking us somewhere because remember those sutras he had talked about previously, right? Where he was leading us towards one pointedness. And so this is I think he's talking a little bit about that over here.
This is a very important study in the process of correct thinking, but we have made no attempt to learn the methods and teach them to our children.
Right. So no school teaches the right technique of thinking, right? The power of concentration without interruption from anywhere, right? Only those valves which are needed to be open should open, not the wrong, not the wrong valves, not the wrong, right?
We think haphazardly, and our children will also adopt the same methods and remain equally deficient.
Yes.
It may be argued that birds learn to fly and fish to swim, but we are not the lower subconscious species where nature helps.
See, in birds and fish, everything is pre-programmed. They cannot do anything outside of the pre-programming, right? So if you see two birds will be talking to each other very nicely, but if one bird catches a fish from the river, the other bird will fight with the same bird with which he was talking to 5 minutes ago and try to snatch the fish away from his. And that is what you call it's natural. It is pre-programmed. He has to do it. He can't help himself otherwise. He can't say he's my friend. Let him have his fish and I'll get my own fish, right?
We are self evolving human beings, which is why our young ones are so helpless.
Hmm.
Unlike those of birds, fishes, and animals.
Hmm.
Because we human beings have to learn everything consciously and methodically if we want to be human beings.
Hmm. Right.
But if we still wish to be like animals or birds, then no such question arises.
Hmm. Right. I mean, even though we are human beings, we have free will. We don't want to fight with our friend. We have a free will to be considerate to the friend, but we can live like an animal and fight with the friend.
Unless scientific study is made in science of thinking, these drifts will keep repeating.
Hmm. So he's saying when there is one chain of thinking happen, everything must be one pointed on one subject. There should not be an interference that suddenly you remember this, suddenly the instinctive center says that, oh, you know, you need to eat something from the kitchen or you need a cup of tea or something of that sort. Hmm.
Oftentimes totally exasperating a person, especially when one wishes to pray or recite japa or is engaged in some serious study.
Right. And we experience this all the time that when we are doing a Gayatri Japa, something or the other keeps on interfering all the time. We don't even observe what is interfering. We just go on with the japa and we don't know what is happening over there. And there
Right.
must be a right method of doing the japa. Until we have a right method of thinking, we cannot have a right method of doing japa. Hmm. Hmm.
One then finds how impotent and helpless one is before these drifts that would rule oneself, especially if they are dictated by strong emotional or sex intensities.
Right. It's more emotional like is dislike, and sex we will take as what do you call tamas. So more habitual intensities we can put over there. Right. Right. Go ahead.
At that time, try to read a book or pray, and you'll find to your dismay that it is not possible unless you have practiced scientific methods.
I found doing 1 minute of three-step rhythmic breathing without any interference. I found just that 1 minute, then again 1 minute, then again 1 minute, and like that to reach a few minutes in the daytime. And I found it to be very helpful. And I do it uh, on the tick-tock of the clock. I don't do it on the music because it's very easy to drift in the music. But here, when you're doing it on the tick-tock of a clock, it's pretty powerful, the exercise. Yeah.
The practical steps of drift watching given in chapter 11 will enable study of this elementary work on oneself.
Yes, this is the elementary work on self. Are we thinking without interference? Then we can do japa without interference. But if we are thinking with interference, even japa will be with interference, right? Hmm. And people don't realize they do, I don't know, 100 japas, 700 japas, and they don't realize that everything has been done in a very unscientific way. Hmm.
Yeah. The practical steps of drift watching given in sorry. And then further study is to continue with the intensity charts and diagrams 1 and 2.
Yeah. So 1 and 2 is from 248 to 522. The pause. The pause. What was it? Can I just read some notes on the pause a little over here?
Yes.
That is between 1 and 2, if everybody does not mind.
Yeah, yeah, sure. We would love that.
All right. Can I just a minute? I'll just
I'll, I'll
look
stop.
for
Should I
them.
stop sharing?
Yes.
No, no, I'll look for them. Yeah, I just. um, I just want to bring in the idea of the pause. Yeah, I just want to read this part.
Mhm.
Now the pause is not in the sense of controlling something. So Tavaria Sahib is writing the word control does not fit in. At no time should one have to control anything. So we don't have to fight with these drifts, right? It shows a fight a weak. It shows a fight a weakness. But the pause is more like the word hesitation would be more correct. The moment when one pauses or delays before speaking or acting, hesitation happens. And because the brain is processing conflicting signals, in the hesitation or pause, the manas is held back from patterns and impulses to prevent cooking and automatic reflex. Now, uh, Ketal, can you just draw the incoming impulse coming in, identical memory pattern, and just draw a small river, straight rectangular down like the manas.
Just doing that right away. It is the incoming impulses.
Coming in, identical memory patterns, right? And the manas. Now, when both these two meet, they then fall into manas. And a thought, can you just write this creates what is called a thought form. Now, if we pause, then we are not allowing when we pause, when we are hesitating, we are not allowing these to fall into manas. So a drift cannot be created over there. A thought form cannot be created. This thought form is not created up here. Nothing happens over here. That is. So the idea is when we hesitate for a moment, at that moment we are like damming the manas. Damming the manas. Dam. Right? We are damming the manas and not allowing the incoming impulse and identical memory pattern to fall in the manas. Once they fall into the manas, is as if they've come onto the gas stove and they get cooked. But if they don't fall in the manas, they cannot get cooked and nothing comes out of it. So if anyone is not under, so I just wanted to just add Tavaria Sahib's note over here. Uh, I don't know if it is helpful to anyone in any way. Yeah. You want to read ahead? Yeah.
The cooking process happens in the manas.
The cooking process happens because they've fallen onto the gas stove. Manas,
Hmm.
right? The manas cooks. It takes the incoming impulse, it takes the identical memory pattern, right? Now the incoming impulse is still there, but a new identical memory pattern is coming from here as an incoming impulse and getting cooked in the manas, right? So if we hold the manas back, and because the manas is molecular, it is like water. It can be dammed, it can flow. If it is flowing, then they are going to fall inside and get cooked. But if we just pause for a moment, it gets dammed. And when it gets dammed, then the what do you call the new incoming impulse cannot fall with a memory pattern inside of it. Okay.
Pranam
Thank you.
Gurudev, can I ask something at this point,
Yeah,
if you
please.
don't mind?
Please. Yeah, please.
So the incoming impulses are coming at such a high fast rate, and there's a
Right.
memory pattern that meets it.
Hmm.
I'm wondering, how is one bringing a pause, because it's so spontaneous, so fast.
Yeah.
Um,
Can we have another sheet of paper? Can you rub this out, or I have to rub this out?
No, no. I can do this. Huh. It's not going away.
It's mine,
Uh,
paper.
yeah, clear. Hmm.
Right. I'm learning. Huh?
doing well.
I'm learning. Okay. Now, once the cooking happens, then see, I don't know, many of the ladies would know over here, but supposing you're making a vegetable. So you prepare the vegetable, you uh, boil it and steam it and everything, and all the masalas are prepared. And then you say, at the final time of eating the lunch, I'll put the final 2 drops of oil in the pan and I'll do the what do they call vagar in English? The frying, the final,
Yes,
Tempering.
yes,
right? Have you
right.
understood what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
So we have incoming impulse meeting memory pattern. So now the cooking has started, right?
right.
And it comes to what you call thought form.
Mm-hmm.
The thought form cannot be eaten for dinner. So it is still
Right,
a partial cooking. It is still a partial cooking, right? Now the thought form verbalizes into an idea.
right.
Now, once
I
the
got
thought
that.
form verbalizes in an idea, the dish has come on the table. That
Right.
final 2 minutes of the vegetable which you prepared from morning, you're putting in the pan with little oil, and 2 minutes the wife of the home or the lady does shh, and then it comes out of the pan and she puts it on the plate, right? So thought form has become verbalized thought, right?
Right,
If you want, you can. The Keta will draw this later, right? Verbal. So verbalized thought is the dish on the table, right?
got that.
The dish on the table, right? Now,
Right,
once the dish has come on the table, I eat the dish, right? And I say, oh, it's good or bad. Now that is what do you call associative thinking, because now it
Right.
is associating with some memory of my likes and dislikes, and there could be a little more or a little less, what do you call, chili, a little more salt, or whatever the thing is.
Yes, right.
So the first pause is when we eat the dish, and instead of commenting on the dish, we pause over there, right? And we concentrate on the dish. Now we are
Okay.
concentrating on the dish, but we remember something that we were supposed to do in the morning and we did not do it, right?
Mm.
And it happens all the time, because the wife will say that the husband will say, you forgot to put this sauce in the dish, right? And the wife will
Mm.
say, I told you in the morning to get that sauce from the market, you didn't get it. What can I do? This happens every day. So, right? So
Mm.
he'll remember, oh, I had to go to the market in the morning. So instead of eating the food, now some other valve has opened and something else has come out. So he's saying at this stage, you bring about a pause over here. Don't,
Okay.
right? Then the pause,
Okay.
talked about the other pauses between the non-verbal and the verbal. And then, of course,
Mm.
the deepest pause is where incoming impulse meets identical memory pattern, and you don't allow
Mm.
it to fall into the running river of
Mm.
manas. The three kinds of pauses. Three kinds of pauses.
Sure.
Huh? But
Yes.
it says don't force the pause. The pause should be like a hesitation when we
Okay.
hesitate. It's just
This,
it's
this,
such a
yeah,
subtle thing.
obviously,
Yeah, just a
yeah,
very subtle, soft thing which we're doing inside.
that's a lot of practice in there, Gurudev, because everything happens so fast. But thank you very much. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
but you can take the clock, right? And the clock goes tick, 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 and you can count 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and don't count it verbally, just count it visually. The and try to reach 1 minute of no verbalization. Now, if you reach up to three visually and your verbalization start from one again, right? And try to reach a count of 1 minute to where no verbal interference happens. And it's a very good exercise for this. Very, very good exercise for this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, we read ahead.
Certain types of thoughts create certain types of chemical reactions in the physical body.
Yes.
As the physical body is a chemical factory, so energy transformations and chemical reactions change the body tissues and create irregularities in normal functioning of the nerves and other organs within the body, leading to various ailments and diseases.
Right. So now certain thoughts are very, very harmful thoughts. Supposing we take one thought of revenge, right? Somebody has cheated me. And every time that thought comes, certain chemicals are released in the body which affect the muscles, it affects the blood, it affects the blood pressure and all. And the higher transformations of those from chemical factory to make it an alchemical factory, we are not able to do that because all the lower chemicals are being made by our thinking. So every time a thought repeats, certain chemicals are left in the body, right? And they destroy the nerves and tissue and all that. Hmm.
And this would mainly be because of the emotions that the thoughts are soaked in.
Yes, and the obstinacy.
Mhm.
See, it is tamas, rajas, and sattva. So take tamas as obstinacy,
Mhm.
right? So emotion is rajas, but tamas is the what do you call? There could be so much of aggressiveness in the emotion,
Mm.
right? When people are say I am right, they're so aggressive about it, so obstinate about it, right? Mm. So you're only releasing the chemicals of obstinacy inside.
Uh, the intensity charts show how the intensities of certain emotions and thoughts induce certain ailments and diseases.
Yeah, that is in the intensity charts. That is for another day, right?
Why does this happen to us? That is, why do diseases and ailments develop within the body?
Yeah.
It is to prove that there is a link with emotional energy, that if the latter be contaminated, it would contaminate the body and mind. What is the real purpose of this mirage? Sometimes negative incentives have to be undertaken to yield results.
Yeah. What is this say? What is this say?
I think the next line will make it clear.
So, the divine fragment, as a last resort, makes use of the rod, and a natural rod that is used is diseases and ailments.
Okay.
Hence, the opinion of modern science that mind and moods are to be treated to put the body right.
Yes. So if we have a disease in the body or if we have an ailment in the body, somewhere we have been a victim of wrong thinking. We have been a victim of wrong thinking, right? And that has to be put into order. The mind and moods have to be put into the order. The right thinking has to become. Hmm. Yeah.
These innumerable doors or valves on both sides of the central channel can open at any moment without any prior notice,
Hmm.
or may not open at all, as in the case of backward children.
Hmm. Right. Keep reading. You'll have to.
If if they do not open haphazardly and spill their series of disconnected memory patterns in picture series into the mainstream of incoming impulses, one is lucky to be able to maintain objective or subjective concentration.
Yeah. So if we
Uh,
can stop them from putting in their pictures, interfering in the process of thinking, interfering in the process of concentration, right?
Lucky because one is not aware of or in control of the inner processes.
Hmm. Right.
If we can prevent or rather control the drifts of the mind by following a method, we should be able to maintain objective and subjective attention. Subjective means that the subject is more subtle.
Yeah. So subject is not in the non-verbal and objective is in the verbal. Can you read that sentence again if we can?
If we can prevent or rather control the drifts of the mind by following a method, we should be able to maintain objective and subjective attention.
Yeah. So objective attention is when we are doing using reasoning or what do you call logic or the reasoning mind to for thinking. And subjective is when we are sensing in the waiting in a state of receptivity for something to come from the higher, which is like intuition. Right? Hmm. Hmm.
This attention, objective or subjective, which is described as concentration and meditation, depending on the length of time, is possible when one attains to the biological stage shown in the diagram 2.
The 522. So in the state of the reasoning mind, objective mind, he calls it as what do you call concentration. And in the case of the subjective mind, he calls it as uh, what do you call Ketan, have I sent
meditation?
you those notes?
Intuition, I think subjective mind
Yeah,
is
he
intuition.
calls it as intuition. He calls it as intuition. Have I sent you those small notes? I wrote those notes yesterday morning only.
Oh, no, I'm
I
not
have not
sure.
sent them to you.
No.
I'll just read those notes if
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We have the objective mind, the subjective mind, and universal mind. The physical brain is used for normal everyday working is the objective mind. It uses reasoning and verbal thought. So where concentration is needed in reasoning and verbal thought, and this is the objective mind. Our problems in life come to the objective mind. The mind which looks after the internal processes of the body, breathing and digestion is the subjective mind. But a problem is always subjective, even though we always try to solve it with the objective mind. Right? Other people solve problems can become objective. The subjective mind holds the problem as a thought form. So now to go into the subjective mind, you must be able to hold the problem as a picture, not as a what do you call words, not as reasoning and words, as a picture. The objective mind deals with the problem in the moment. It cannot see the future of the problem. So the objective mind, where you're seeing reasoning, it does not know that if you make a solution to the problem, what will be the solution or what will that solution do in the future? It projects memory into the future. The decision is based upon information. The subjective mind has a picture of the future. So it has a picture of the problem and it has a picture of the future. It has a picture of the next moment, a next day, or next year. So when we talk about now, it is objective, but the real now, the future is subjective. But we use objective thinking for a subjective answer. The workings of the subjective mind are unknown to the objective mind, and it has no business to delve into its workings. The moment it does, it shatters the subjective picture, and we can never get the right answer. The problem will not solve itself. This is what we do with our problems. Objective mind is objective thinking, subjective mind is no thinking, and universal mind is universe thinking, right? Universal thinking. The problem is always a subjective picture. To put a subjective picture in an objective world requires different laws. We must understand it. Now he's talking about something higher, so I won't go into this. Yesterday from Mr. Tavaria's notes, I was writing these notes yesterday on the subjective mind and objective mind and universal mind. So what he's talking about is we can just through those notes become a little clearer.
Rajan bhai, can I ask a question here?
Yeah, please, please.
What you have said, problem is always subjective, but we try to solve it with our objective mind. Why problem is always subjective?
Because I is involved. It is my problem.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
problem is not my problem. It is objective.
Right.
Well, my problem is my problem. My problem, if I bring it to you, then you will solve it objectively.
But we have to take out the I to reach up to the solution. So you are saying that you have to solve the problem with the subjective mind, not the objective mind. So that I don't understand.
So he's saying in the subjective mind, the problem is there as a picture.
Okay.
But we are using thinking to solve the problem. But the problem has to be solved in a picture, right?
That I understand, but what I don't understand is subjective mind is if I is involved, how can a problem remain in a picture form? Once I is there, everything gets corrupted, isn't it that?
Yeah, that is memory gets corrupted.
Okay.
Oh, when it becomes memory, just now it is a thought form.
Okay.
See, my very favorite example is that, I go to a restaurant and I get very angry on the waiter for his very delayed service.
Right.
He's not, after all, he has to give me proper service and he does not give me proper service.
Okay.
Right? So we always have this that I am paying, I am this, right?
Right.
Now I get very angry on him, right? So, and I tell him all kinds of words. Now he takes those words to heart. But he can't tell me anything because I'm his valued customer.
Okay.
But then he goes home and gets very angry on his daughter.
Right.
Daughter gets upset and fails in the exam tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, can you understand? Right?
Yes, yes.
Now, right, my objective thinking is that you're 10 minutes late in giving me dinner, right?
Ah,
And you must be on perfect time in giving me dinner.
right,
Now, when I make a picture of this in sensitivities, that is the subjective picture, subjective
right.
sensitivities.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
I'm sensing my anger, right?
Right,
And at that moment, I sense it that anything done out of anger will be the wrong decision.
right. True. Very true.
And I suddenly see the picture, and that picture tells me he's going to suppress my anger. He's going to get angry on someone. And all the future pictures I see, which are not there in the objective mind.
Yes. True, true.
Suddenly I
Mm.
say, okay, I'm happy you bring the meat 10 minutes late, does not matter. Right?
Right. True, true.
And this happens all the time, right?
Very true. Very true. Mm.
And you see pictures, and when it becomes subjective, in the sense you do see pictures, in the sense that supposing you have a neighbor, and
Mm.
the neighbor is hitting his daughter.
Okay.
He comes home drunk and he hits the daughter.
Mm.
Now, if you just move into the sensitivities, you don't think about it. If I think about it, this fellow is a very cruel person and he should not be doing this and all that, right?
Mm.
But if I bring it into a subjective picture,
Right.
right, then I will go through all the pain the daughter is going through.
Okay.
I will know that 20 years from now, this man is sowing this seed of pain on his daughter. What kind of behavior that will create from his daughter after 20 years?
Right. 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 Right.
Can you understand
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
trying to? Suddenly,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
those pictures which come are subjective mind. That is what Tavariya Sahib is talking about.
No, it's a beautiful note.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Mm.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Shall we go ahead?
So verbal mind is trying to solve the pictorial mind's problem.
The verbal mind is trying to solve something which should be held as a picture and as a sensitivity in the subjective mind, the non-verbal mind.
Non-verbal.
Then suddenly everything becomes clear that just by hitting this daughter every day, right, what kind of creature he is going to, right? Then if her husband says something, she'll snap back at her husband, right? Mhm. Yeah. Can you read that again? This attention.
This attention, objective or subjective, which is described as concentration and meditation,
So for
depend,
subjective mind, meditation, and for objective mind, concentration. Hmm.
depending on length of time, is possible when one attains to the biological state shown in diagram 2.
So it can only come after the introduction of a pause. We pause the verbal thinking and we try to move into sensitivity thinking, just into pure sensitivity, and suddenly a different world will open up.
But by no stretch of imagination is this dharma or dhyana,
It is not
because
dharana or dhyana. It is not
oh,
dhyana,
sorry.
dharana or dhyana. Right.
Because for these two processes, different brain patterns and different developments within the brain are necessary,
Right.
as shown in diagrams 3b and 3c.
Right. So we can say we've talked about diagram 2, right? From diagram 2 to diagram 3A is dharana, diagram 3B is dhyana, and diagram 3C is samadhi. Right? We can take it in that way. Uh, the dharana has a totally different meaning. Huh?
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, English, the spelling will be the same in both.
No, I said dharma. I misread N as M.
Sure. I thought you said dharna. I thought Gandhi.
Dharana and dharana.
But you need dharana to sit in dharana.
Yeah.
Okay.
For compared to diagram 2, diagram 3A is miles ahead. And compared to diagram 3B, diagram 3C is light years removed.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We'll go into the miles, right? And we'll leave the light years. We'll leave the light years. Yeah,
And true pratyahar, dharana, and dhyan are possible only after the stage shown in diagram 3B is attained. That is the minimum requirement.
right. Okay.
Sahib has included Pratyahar also.
Yeah, pratyahar.
Now we were thinking Dharana and Dhyan is difficult, but Pratyahar is also
It's
included in 3B.
very long journey. Very long journey.
He's making the things more difficult.
He says my only objective is to confuse you and to confuse you more. Hmm.
No, his only objective is to give us the clarity. So by no stretch of imagination, we think that we are doing meditation or we are doing dhyana.
And he breaks all presumptions.
Right.
Only when an individual reaches the biological completeness of diagram 3B is one capable of inner controls consciously.
Right. This I have seen in him. This I have seen in him. I mean, he had such powerful control that if he would eat a meal, it would take us 3 hours for it to digest in the stomach. He could expand his stomach and contract his stomach, and it would digest in seconds, the meal. Right.
Oh
So,
my God, my God.
right. So it was phenomenal, right? Because the way he could eat ice cream, I mean, it was phenomenal. It was not possible in any distance, right?
So Rajan bhai, he has got a control over instinctive center also.
Total over instinctive, all the instinctive functions of the body, right?
Yes,
And because that is all a part of subjective mind.
true, true. Yes, yes. Correct.
The biological body, which is completeness, which is referring to, is that kind of practices which gives a control over the physical function and all.
Who Sanket talking?
Right.
Can you pause a little in between the words, and so we can understand what you're
Sorry.
saying?
He's referring to the word biological completeness.
Huh.
So when he's referring to these words, does it mean the capacity to control the body functions and other functions, as you gave an
For him, we
example
have to
of
include.
digestion?
For him, we have to include the capacity to control body functions. For us, we don't. We keep that aside, right? Right.
Sorry, for us it is?
For us, we won't include that because it cannot be done for us.
Right. So for us, what will be that biological completeness?
See, he was born with his guru and he was born with all these yogic practices.
Right.
Right. So we cannot compare. For him, it is very easy to write all this.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Ketab,
Rajan
somebody
bhai,
asked you. Bolo.
when Ramdulare Bapu met your father, Dr. Vakil, and his blood pressure in one hand was very high, in other hand it was like very low. So this is also considered to be instinctive control, right?
Right, right.
Mm.
Bapu had that beautiful humor, no?
Yes.
So in one, the reading would come to 270 or 280, right? And he would say, Jo, mane heart attack avi gaya, Jo, I'm thinking you doctor. Then he'll put the other hand, zero blood pressure will be there.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Persons who are successful in materialistic circumstances, example, successful businessmen or professionals, whether writers, doctors, lawyers, executives, or scientists, have developed the art of objective attention.
Savitarka Samapatti. Right? Savitarka Samapatti.
Either by,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
you were saying something.
No, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Either by intention or by some practice unknown to themselves.
Right. They have developed it accidentally through their mechanical habituation.
But to say that is dharana is to show utter ignorance of the great and extremely vital step in evolution, when an individual becomes a different species of humanity inwardly and is then in a position to perform, and we scroll up, the extremely difficult steps, starting with pratyahar and proceeding through dharana and dhyan as described. To say nothing about samadhi, which can only be taken under the care and guidance of a transcendental teacher, Ishvara, and not under dime a dozen so-called teachers of the outer physical world.
Oh, at least he's little clear over here. The outer teacher can take us through pratyahar, right? And dharana and dhyana and samadhi, the inner teacher will do. And he's been very compassionate. Right? It's very nice of him. Right. Let's finish this paragraph.
But be not deceived that as per diagrams 1 or 2, one can ever perform the difficult science of dharana, dhyan, and samadhi, or even the first step pratyahar.
Right.
Let us not mock at what is meant by dharana and dhyan. Let us not translate these words as merely concentration and meditation. More will be explained in later chapters.
Yeah. So we'll talk about this next time. If there are any questions, we'll take those questions.
Rajan bhai, when you were explaining subjective and objective concentration and you were reading the notes, you left some paragraphs and you said that it's quite in depth, so I'll not go into it. So can you read those paragraphs?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said that that is very much in depth, so I'll not take that, and you stop the reading. So once you say such words, it creates more.
Yeah, you told it with depth, so I have left it.
No. What I said, to put a subjective picture in an objective world requires different laws than known by the objective mind. It must, supposing there's a picture in the subjective mind and you want to bring that picture in the objective mind, right?
Okay.
This is a very, very high state, very high
Oh,
state.
right.
Right. So what he's talking about, it requires to know different laws. Different laws. So this will be like the law of materialization. Right.
Very
Something,
true.
it will be the law of material, that is from Madhyama to Vaikhari is materialization. So the picture is in Madhyama. Right. But now, as if the picture comes out of the photograph and is standing and talking to me.
Right.
So it requires the understanding of different laws, how to materialize the picture. That is more, it will go into white magic, black magic kind of thing. Right. So I left that sentence out because he has written this sentence. That is why see, the objective mind cannot handle matters that are in the future. So if there's any problem concerning the future, the objective mind is only reasoning in the present moment.
Okay.
But when you move into the subjective mind, you see the present picture, and you see out of that picture, you'll see a series of pictures which take you into the future.
Oh, right.
Mm.
Those that do not exist right now in the objective mind. The physical brain cannot look into another dimension. It must carry out instructions given on this plane and act. Like how to make something which is in another dimension of time and space materialize in our dimension of time and space. Right? That is the objective mind or section 1 of the brain must hand over the problem to section 2 deep, that is deep memory section. This is the contact ground for the universal mind. Relax and wait for an answer. I'll take these notes some other day. I'll take these notes some other day.
This is very important because practice is very much needed for this.
Huh? But no, I can't understand. I can't. I'm sorry.
This is very important what you have said. I thought for this, one should know the practices also for this, how to do it also.
Actually, these are his personal notes. I want to, he has also given us notes on subjective mind and universal mind. So I want to combine both the notes and make one note out of it. And then we'll sit down and one of the sessions we'll just take that note only.
Yeah,
Rajan
yeah.
bhai, should we remind you for this discussion in our next session that maybe after November, or you'll do it yourself?
Now I'm taking a holiday for nearly 1
Yeah,
month.
you are taking holiday, but next time whenever we are having next session, should we remind you of this discussion?
You can keep reminding me, definitely.
Somewhat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because Rajan bhai, you have all the experience, whatever you are saying, right? So I think that practice we also need how to do it.
No, we are going to sit and we are going to do it. We are going to work on it. So
Yeah,
what I'll do is I'll combine the two notes. I haven't finished writing this note as yet. There's
Okay.
still a lot to be written. Then I'll combine both the notes because the universal mind and subjective mind he wrote many years later. So we'll just recombine them and come out with one note with practices, small practices. And it may not finish in one session, but we'll take it over 2 or 3 sessions. Right?
So, thank you, Rajan bhai. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Gautam has a question, Rajan bhai.
Yeah.
Gautam, do you want to unmute yourself and ask the question?
Oh, after a long time, Gautam, Rajan bhai.
Yeah, Gautam he remains in Samadhi. He doesn't come down from.
He's always in Samadhi.
He what do you call moves between 3B, 3C.
Yeah. After a long time, I'll listen him.
Yeah, Gautam, go ahead.
Oh, I don't think he's unmuting himself.
Achha.
Gautam, if you're trying to speak, you're on mute. Okay. His question was, can you please, what are the best practices for pause exercise?
What are the best practices for pause exercise?
Pause exercise, yes.
Right. So the practice which I did over number of years is anybody has the TikTok in their phone?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And which really helped me. I'll just show it to you, the practice which. So this is the inner mechanism of a clock. Can everybody hear it?
No, people might not because Zoom's background noise correction will be on. Can you do this? On the top right of your screen, there'll be original sound for musicians off. Can you see that?
The recording, YouTube, view.
Original sound for.
No. Somebody has put it on.
Yeah. We are sharing a sound.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Gautam, you can hear this. So I'm breathing with this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So I'm just practicing the rhythmic breathing with this. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, I'm visualizing 1. Right? I'm visualizing 1. But I'm not allowing myself to verbally say 1. So how do I do it? So I draw 1. In drawing 1, I'll 2 will start 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. But I won't count 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I'll draw 2. Right? So in that process, you're not verbalizing, you're just visualizing from 1 to 2. But if you say 2, then go back to 1 again. And in the morning before getting up, reach 1 minute of this without what you call any verbalization to stretch it to 1 minute. Initially, you'll reach 3, 4. Again, the verbalization will start and you'll come back to 1. Sometimes you may do in second or third only start. Then you may reach up to 8 and the verbalization will come. Then 6 months, you'll be able to reach to 1 minute without any verbalization. Now, every morning, practice that 1 minute before getting out of bed. This is a very simple and very easy method, right? Just listen to this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Tuck, 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 tuck. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Don't verbalize 1, 2, but you can see 1, 2 if you want. Try not to say anything. Sense the breathing up to 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And at 6, draw the figure 1. Then draw the figure 2. But don't say the word 2. If you say the word 2, go back to 1 again. Okay. This has really helped me. I mean, I've practiced this for years and years. And it's something which has really helped me a lot. Any other
Harshavin wishes everyone happy Diwali.
Gautam, you can, if you don't want to speak, you can give a thumbs up. Huh? Right.
Oh, he's given a thumbs up.
Oh, this is some other Gautam. This is not that Gautam, which Vasuben was talking. This is Gautam Biswal. Some other.
Okay. I thought he's the same Gautam.
No. That is our friend Gautam.
Yeah, friend Gautam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Anyone else? Okay. So see you all after a month.
Yeah.
We'll put the date on the group, in the group. And thank you, everyone. And all the best. Have a wonderful Diwali. I'll see you all after Diwali. Right? Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jai Bhagwan, Rajan bhai.
Thank you, Guru.
Thank
Have a
you.
lovely
Good
Diwali.
night.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.